What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's news roundup. Now, tonight I'm going to be focusing on one thing and one thing only, and that is the apparent new contract extensions that Jurgen Klopp is looking to tie down for Joel Matip and Thiago Alcantara. I'm going to be telling you why I agree with one of those potential new deals and why I disagree strongly with the other one. But you know what I'm about to say next, right? I want you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please do drop a like on the video. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you know what to do. Also, want to give a shout out to our brand new channel, Top of the League. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, there's a QR code there. If you'd like to scan that, that will bring you over to our new channel. Or you can just go to the description of this video and you'll also see a link there to subscribe to Top of the League. Basically on there, what we're going to be doing is the big breaking news stories outside of Liverpool, but in the world of football. We're also going to be hosting the biggest and best watch-alongs. Yeah, I said it. But what I mean by that is the biggest and best games. We're not trying to call ourselves the best watch-along in the world already. Okay, maybe I am a little bit, but, you can forgive me that. Starting off with Manchester United tonight. Now, as you're watching this, that game will be underway. The next games we're going to be doing will be the next round of the Champions League game. So if you want to join us, you know what to do. But look, I'm going to get straight into the contract extensions now. So let's start with Thiago Alcantara. As you may or may not know, Thiago's been out since the end of last season. He had a hip injury, which then required an operation. And as seems to always be the case with Liverpool, these things are never straightforward. At the moment, Thiago Alcantara is unavailable because he's had a setback in the recuperation from that hip operation. So to hear that Jurgen Klopp trusts Thiago and wants to tie him down to a new deal very much confuses me, because he's on £200,000 a week. I love Thiago as a footballer. When he is fit, he's available and on the pitch, my God, he's a joy to watch. But I feel this group, this team, has outgrown Thiago, and I don't see a place for him long term in the squad. I just don't see how he justifies the wage, and I don't see how Jurgen Klopp can give him the minutes. And I don't want a £10 million a season player sitting around just so we have some experience on the sidelines. Employ him as a coach if you want that to be the case. I thought we'd gotten rid of this noose around our neck to some extent with regards to moving on aging players. Naby Keita, example number one. We tied Naby down to a deal when he signed for us of 5 years and we didn't really get value for money there. And thankfully, he's now sitting on the sidelines watching on as Werder Bremen fans get frustrated at his lack of availability. So to hear Klopp want to do it with Thiago, I just don't get. I really don't. And as I mentioned, I was all for signing Thiago. I very much have enjoyed him at the club. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. But 10 million quid a season. Now, if Thiago was willing to take a huge pay cut down to maybe 60 grand a week, potentially this is a slightly different conversation. But even then, I'm still going to struggle to find where he gets the minutes in the squad. If you look at us right now, we've got Endo, and there are question marks still over Endo. But rather than bringing in Thiago, or signing him on a new deal, I'd like to see us go to Fluminense in January and bring in Andre. Then you'd have Andre, Endo, Bajcetic, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, Elliott, plenty and plenty and plenty of options. And youth on your side as well. I don't understand this idea from Klopp, and it strikes me as just him not learning lessons. It didn't work with Jordan Henderson. Klopp fought with FSG to give him an extended contract, and then Henderson ran away at the very first opportunity over to Saudi to take that money. So I don't want to see the same thing happening again. Thiago Alcantara has been a fine servant to the football club when he's played, but it seems like a very natural conclusion that when his contract is up in the summer, that Liverpool allow him to go and do his thing. I don't understand this. I really, really, really do not understand this. And I say this as a staunch Thiago sexual, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm struggling to see how it would make sense to our owners either. So, again, I want to know your thoughts on the Thiago situation. Moving on to Joel Matip, though, slight bit different. I do have some sympathy with the manager on this one. Joel is steady as she goes, and like Thiago, he does have injury concerns, but he very, very rarely lets you down when he comes in and plays. And for centre-backs, I don't mind that bit of age and experience. And you've got Virgil van Dijk, you've got Joe Gomez, you've got Joel Matip, you've got Ibrahim Kanade, and I would like to see us bring in another one. And also, of course, we've got Jarrell Kwanzaa, and we need to see how his development goes. But if the plan is to sign Joel Matip to a new deal and not to go out and bring in another centre-back, then this is just absolute madness again. It's penny pinching and it's stupidity. So It's very hard to give a well-rounded opinion when you don't know the thought processes here from the manager. If it's, let's sign Matip to a new deal and go another year without bringing in a centre-back, again, lunacy, I don't get it. Why do we want to keep players at the club forever? Sometimes it just reaches a natural conclusion and you shake hands, you say goodbye, thank you for your service. And Joel deserves a huge thank you for his years of service to the football club. One thing I've always said about Joel Matip is he's a very, very able deputy. You can bring him in and look, occasionally he'll have a stinker, but that's usually down to a lack of rhythm. But most of the time, Joel Matip will not let you down. He will come in, he'll be very solid, and with that, I'm fine. But again, it's very difficult to give you a weighted opinion here when I don't know what Jurgen's thinking is. So if it is to keep Matip and bring in another centre-back, I'm all for that. That allows Jarell Quansah time to continue his development at 20 years of age. But we need to bring in pressure on Virgil van Dijk. And I hope the club aren't looking to go down the cheap route here again by just tying Matip down for another year and then saying to us fans, well, how can we improve? How can we add strength to this defence? We've got Joel Matip. He's established. He's a former international of Cameroon. He's a very experienced player for us. You've got Joe Gomez. He's versatile. Virgil van Dijk, the club captain, and Ibrahima Kanate. But we all know that our centre-backs have a tendency to pick up knocks. You can probably push Virgil aside, to be fair, in that regard, because he's fairly steady as she goes. It's suspensions that catch out Virgil these days. But Matip has had spells out. Kanate seems to be picking up muscle knocks and strains. So, again, want to re-emphasise, I would like to see Liverpool bring in a centre-back regardless of what Klopp does. So that's my opinions on these two players, but I want to know what you would do. Would you like to see Thiago Alcantara tied down to a new deal, perhaps on reduced wages, or do you think that the end of this season's a natural conclusion for him to say goodbye? And of course, the same thing applies to Joel Matip. So, other than that, my friends, just a reminder that we will be live tomorrow from 1 p.m. here for the watch along of the West Ham game, where I hope to God we can ram Mikel Antonio's words back down his throat, and I very, very much am going to back Mohamed Salah to score tomorrow, because remember, Mikel Antonio knew for a fact that Salah was willing to run away and take that Saudi money. I hope Salah answers him tomorrow with another fantastic performance. Remember, Mo has had a goal or an assist in his last 12 games consecutively now, which is phenomenal stat. And in some of those games, as I mentioned to you yesterday, he's had multiple assists. So hopefully Mo can get the job done tomorrow. Jared Bowen is a bit of an injury concern for West Ham as well, by the way. He's a virus at the minute, so it's going to be touch and go to see if he'll be able to start for David Moyes' team. But that brings to an end tonight's news roundup, my friends. And again, hope to see you tomorrow from 1 p.m. for the watch along. We're going to be live with a full post-match show, player ratings, all the usual stuff you expect from Anfield Agenda. Thank you for your time. Have yourselves a wonderful evening and look forward to tomorrow where we get to hopefully continue our great start to the new campaign. Talk to you then. Bye bye.